Let me go and check. Because I've never done a full normal desktop stream. Oh. Oh, that looks perfect. All right, sweet. All right, I'm going to keep this down low. Let's go ahead and open up VS Code here. And let's take this away quickly. Don't want anything here to show. That doesn't need to be shown. All right, let's go ahead and make a new folder here. Actually, I think we could use this game folder. Let's open this in VS Code. There we go. Sweet. Let me pull up the chat. And I think we're just about set up. So I see some chat in here. Day 4, not quite sure. On day 3 video, I think I started to lag a bit when I remember going basic parts of logic. Maybe like some of that logic applied to programming. Quick question about the exam. One of the prereqs, there's 2 programming languages. Obviously, you're teaching Python, but what would be a good one? C#. Yeah, so we teach in the 100 Days of Rootkit, we teach not just Python, but we're also teaching C and JavaScript. You can do any language you want, though. The big thing is you should be able to interact with multiple languages and be comfortable to get the certification. Once you unlock 2 languages, all programming languages are pretty much the same, so you should be able to adapt and learn more programming languages on top of that. What other questions do you guys have right now, just generally? Let me get my phone plugged in here because, oh gosh, it's gonna die. Oh man. So the thing is with the 100 Days of Rootkit, and we plan on like redoing it all, it is a little rough, a little dry. It's highly good content. Sorry, I'm plugging that in. It's top tier content. It will absolutely teach you everything you need to know. But we plan on redoing it. Not a timeline on when we plan on redoing it, but we do plan on redoing it. So it's a little bit more lively, and then integrating it with some of the tools that we have been developing and making. Hello, Comet. Nice of you to join. But yes. All right. So the big thing when you're going through 100 Days of Rootkit on the first initial days. So let's go and pull up the GitHub here. Why is Chrome lagging? There we go. So on the initial 100 Days of Rootkit, when you're following along, which you are right now, you can find it helpful to, I would recommend watching the stream on 2 times speed because it was done live, so it's not cut together real quick. So it could be like done a lot quicker, but also the best thing I recommend is go to the comp sci cert in the actual GitHub here, and you can quickly go through the items if you want. So right now, basic math is what's covered first when you're watching 100 Days of Rootkit. So you can quickly go through this, copy, paste, ask your favorite AI. ChatGPT works great on each one of these items, explain it to you, look at the Wikipedia article. You just need to know about them and know how they work. And we show you, the best part is we show you exactly how it is in the exam in those videos. But it is extremely important to you learn this stuff because this stuff is programming, right? In those videos, when we do redo them, we're going to do them closer to how programming is because this is exactly how programming works. Unions, for example, all of these, especially when you start like utilizing them in programming, they're going to be your and statements, all right? Your normal if logic. You know, if someone types in a 7, but I wanted them to guess the number 8 in my game that I had, you know, was that the same number or not? Well, you're effectively doing these, all right? So that's a simplistic way of doing it, but these are going to help and come in more clutch when you start thinking of it in more complex terms. Will the old video still be available after it's redone? No. I mean, there's no point to have the old videos if we redo it. So we'll probably private them. We're not going to delete them. So we'll private them just in case we want to like reopen them. But when we redo all of it, it's going to be like, why would you want to go back to the old stuff? It's going to be so much better. And they're probably not going to be live stream because the 100 Days of Rootkit was live stream. So it has that live stream pace, which isn't good for watching afterwards. So they'll be properly edited videos so that you can actually watch them. Or maybe we'll take a note out of the book of the rest of the channels and just release like a 50-hour long video with a bunch of chapters that you can watch through. And once you watch the all 50 hours, you're done. Who knows? I probably will split it up in videos because that's kind of ridiculous and I like progression. And I'm going to assume most of you guys will like progression too, not to be stuck on the same video. This actually better, actually. Yeah, I think progression, yeah, exactly. But make sure you're using your assistants. If not using ChatGPT, make sure you use Bing Copilot, or if you're on Windows 11, you should have Copilot built in. But all of those will work. All of those will work for you. So I honestly think that Copilot might be better in a lot of circumstances, only because, for example, if we go in here, and I know they've been doing some updates to GPT, but vanilla out of the box, explain what a union is in computer science. Make sure you're adding in computer science at the end generally for all of your items, because there's a lot of things that could be a union. And same thing with a lot of the other terms here. But the big pro is here is it is ChatGPT that's powering this thing. So you're getting it just like you normally do, but it's going to be giving you links, right? It's going to be giving you links. And here is not only the definition of a union, but now you're seeing the things that I wanted to cover in the video, which is actual examples of it in programming, right? Actual examples of it in programming. I don't know how, this is not the example I would have shown off, but it is an example technically. This is talking about the data structure. So this would be maybe something you would want to restate instead of in computer science, because technically it's more of the math part in math. So I would say probably in math or basic math. And so this is a good example of, yeah, this is the answer we would want. So this is a good example of be aware of the terms that you put in, because depending on the terms that you put in, you could get the wrong answer. This is technically a right answer, and it kind of does what a union does, but this is the one that you're going to need to know for the actual exam, and this is what you're going to need to know how to perform. And this gives you great, again, the links are the most important part. So if you want to see pictures, because I like pretty pictures, I think most people like pretty pictures. Holy crap, they messed up on this. They got to go back and redo that. But pretty pictures are great, so you can click on these links, get the pretty pictures. Additionally, read out loud. Let's see how good it works.
In mathematics, the union of two sets is a fundamental concept in set theory.
So if you don't want to read, which I don't like to read, guess what? You can have it read it to you. All right? So again, I think Copilot from Microsoft is generally a better product than ChatGPT because of this reason. Now, if you're paying for ChatGPT with their new features that are out, like the new voice feature, maybe you could talk to it and have it teach you that way, go back and forth, and it might be a better experience with that. But generally, if you want free, this is it. Any questions on that? I see typing. Any other questions? Let me pull up the Twitch stream real quick, because I don't think I'm getting the Twitch chat, but I am getting the YouTube chat. .org. There we go. All right, now I got the Twitch chat up and available. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Visualizing is so much easier for me. I will probably use Copilot. Yeah. Visualizing is super important, especially for these concepts. I'm telling you guys right now, a lot of things here, they're super stupid easy. They're super simple. They're super easy. They're not complicated. The thing is, pictures, right? Pictures work great, right? Because when I show you a Venn diagram and I say, this is a, holy crap, they really need to fix that. But if I say this is a, if I put it as a Venn diagram, whoops. Also, it has follow-up questions, which is super useful. Let's go back here. Venn diagram, great. This is a union. Union means everything combined is your output. So that's why the two circles are completely filled. So everything in the soccer category, everything in the tennis category in the center, when you do a union, everything is combined, everything is good to go. That is your output. So output or item 1, item 2, when we perform a union, we have all of the sub items in it, right? Or all of the elements, I should say. All right. It's not, again, it's not calculus. I mean, technically it borders on calculus, but like this is just addition, you guys. This is not anything crazy. But again, it's important for you to know because it is one of the fundamentals for programming. What other questions you guys got? We got like 45 more minutes here. So we can talk about, show off, do anything you guys like. What is the best AI model for coding? I would say Wonder. What do you mean for coding? For coding, you should be using GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot, which I have right here, is the best for coding. Because I can just go ahead and do Control I, basic layout for a word guessing game. Press enter. It's going to generate all the code for me. Great. I'm going to accept that code. Cool. I'm new at programming, so I don't know why this exists. Why is this a thing in here? Well, let me just highlight it. I can bring up Copilot right here. Why is this here? Enter. There you go. It's going to explain to me why this is here. All right. Why are these things here? I don't know. Let me highlight them. Why is this here? Great. It's going to explain to me. Copilot is the best tool, period. There are no better tools. Yes, but you have to pay for this. So for free tools, Bing Copilot is, I think, the best. ChatGPT is second place. Those are for your free tools. For actual paid, I think this is worth paying. Because if you're going to pay $20 a month for anything, actually I think it's $10 a month. Don't pay for ChatGPT Plus. You pay for this, right? Because this is, again, this is ChatGPT. Microsoft, in all of their products, and Microsoft owns GitHub, they have a partnership and they use ChatGPT behind everything. So you don't need to pay for it because you're getting the paid experience here. Let's see. How much is GitHub Copilot? It's $10 a month. I don't trust Google, so let's make sure. $10 a month. So it's cheaper than GitHub or ChatGPT. Yeah, Wonder was using GPT. Everyone uses GPT. Everyone does. It's the underlying tech for pretty much everything. All right, what other questions do you guys have? What things do you guys want to go over? It doesn't have to be Python. We can go over anything in pretty much any language. Let me double check the chats over here. What do you guys got for me? Anything? We got 40 minutes free and available here. I don't know what I have to start doing different for you guys because this is not it. Y'all need to come loaded with questions because I'm the one making a shit ton of money right now from my career, and you guys are not. So we need to balance that out. So I'm not quite sure what's lagging behind here, and like whether you guys just aren't thinking of questions or whether I need to do something different to prompt questions from you guys. Well, it's not. I can't do that. Maybe we should work on Discord integration for that. It is supposed to work with Twitch. We didn't try it. Let me try something right now, and let's see if I can get it rolling. We can do a live check right here if it's working with Twitch or not. This is part of our new live streaming tool suite that's going to be available for all of our live streamers. npm run start. Open a new one. Go to live kit backend. See app, and then go into here. Copy, and I see some chat went through. Let me go check it out. What are some good fields to get into once you get in the computer science certificate? You can do any field you want once you get into it. Hold on, let me open up this site real quick. Let's go ahead and try this out. Live console. Let me go and connect Twitch here. All right, we're connected to Twitch. Let me connect YouTube. All right, let's try this out. You guys will have to, well, now it's tapping, so that won't really work. Actually, I think we broke it because now it's using tapping. It's built for like TikTok now, and I needed Alex to do the update for it. Then never mind. Never mind. We will not use these tools because these other tools are not going to be important. I want to do the quiz tool, but it's all right. Okay, so for industries, so we talk about it more in the videos, but pretty much anything that is you're passionate about, that's what you need to go do. Because as a blank new slate, once you get the comp sci cert, you're going to be better than anyone with a actual computer science degree. So you can do anything you want. Find what you like, what you think is cool, and just go do that. Because you're going to make a lot of money regardless. So just do something that you like. You haven't joined one of these calls for a year? Well, welcome back. They will become more prominent. We are building a bunch of live streaming tools, and we're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways starting probably next year, end of this year, with our new tool suite, which we previewed a little bit yesterday. Can I ask what my main job is? I am a software developer for a company. What I'm being vague about it for a reason, but I basically run Rootkit, and I'm a software developer for a fairly large company, and my day-to-day is AI to full stack to other various things. So if you have any questions, I can answer them because I've probably done exactly what you want to get into. And we've placed people all across the world in jobs. So we're not exclusive to the US. What other questions do you guys got? You guys want to see anything specific? You guys want to go through more of this? You want to go through items specifically on the comp sci? Yeah, I got one person chatting. At least he's chatting. Some people will be asking about classes and they don't even ask any questions. Yeah, so for the advance, pretty much just get your comp sci cert. The advance is some extra things. All right, some extra things sprinkled on top. So specifically, you need to understand how to mess with SQL, or sorry, NoSQL databases, how to integrate them, different formats, and how to mess with those data formats, and then using container services. Now we list Docker here specifically, but you can use other ones if you want. This is a general enhancement. You want the comp sci cert, but this one is a general enhancement. We didn't even change the verbiage when we rebranded it on here, but you want the normal comp sci cert. This is a general enhancement. You don't even really need to get this cert. You definitely want the base one, but this is something that will definitely put you above everyone else because these are highly sought after items, skills. So if you have them on your resume, it's gonna be significant. First one's, yeah. The second one's not really worth it if you get the first one. It's kind of, these are level 2 certs, so they're sit out the same tier. You guys can't see my camera unless you're on the YouTubes or Twitch or TikTok, but they are on the exact same level, right? This one is technically better than this one, but you don't have to get this one. They are both good. This, though, is going to give you an edge. I would take someone over that has this or the items in this one over this one any day. No, level 4 is the highest level. Level 4 is the highest level. Level 2 is the base. Like, not really the base. Level 1 is kind of checkpoints. Level 2 is, okay, it's equivalent to a degree, and everything above that is, you can think level 3 master's, level 4 PhD, but it's a lot harder to get R's than a PhD. I'm not gonna lie. I see a bunch of typing. Yeah, and where you don't see any really details about the level 3 or level 4 because they're not available for you unless you have your cert. If you don't have your cert, we're not even going to discuss it with you because it's not really worth the time. But they're pretty much going to, and it's also something we offer to companies, the level 3 certifications, because there's a bunch of different ways we offer classes, especially to companies, because they need general information or people to keep their devs up to date. What other questions you guys got? Did you guys see Meta's new release? No. Meta new glasses. I forget what they're called. Orion? Orion. These are sick. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it was a smart move for them to tease everyone early about it. I think that was actually really dumb on them. But this is exactly what I'm looking forward for. Yes, and this is definitely like, if you want to be a general like app developer, this is definitely what you want to be. I'm telling you right now, if you just want to be a general app developer, this is what you want to be doing. All right, this is what you want to be gearing towards. Buy yourself a Meta Quest headset or the Apple Vision Pro, and start getting good at making, or maybe just apps on the phone for doing mixed reality content. Because I'm telling you right now, this is the new phone. This is the new iPhone. They shouldn't have, they should have just waited and released it when they actually had a working product, because I don't think, I really don't think a lot of companies were expecting them to be this far ahead of the game compared to the rest, like everyone else. I really don't think they did. And this isn't a functional product. They kind of just cock teased everyone. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just waited and then really taken everyone by surprise. But this will be the default. This is what everyone will be using. I'm telling you right now, your phone is going to go away. This is going to be the default. Because why would you want a phone when you could just wear glasses? Most people, or not most people, but a lot of people are already wearing glasses. Like I'm wearing glasses. So you're telling me I don't have to have my phone around and I can just wear my normal glasses and be super powered? And then there we go. Any questions on that? Yeah, it is augmented reality. Well, it's not augmented. Is it? Is that the term for it? Augmented? Yeah, it's augmented reality. Yeah. Yeah, because the terms are AR is for this stuff. XR is a mix between the two major categories, and VR is for proper headsets. So XR would be something that works with or without the headset. Works with these glasses, works on your phone, works with the headset. What questions y'all got? And by the way, you don't need to have the money to make apps for the Apple Vision Pro. You don't have to buy it. You can use the simulators that are built into Mac Pros. So you just need to cough up enough money for a Mac computer, which honestly, the Mac Mini isn't too bad. $500. $600. So it's not that bad. What questions you guys got? And like, this is going to be a solid computer. Are you going to do any crazy gaming on it? Probably not. But it's going to, everything Apple releases is always a solid computer. What questions you guys got? Also, if you want to be dumb and have a Linux computer as your main machine, well, don't be dumb. Just use a Mac. It is Linux. Or just do Windows like a normal person and then download WSL. What else you guys got? Snowman, what do you got? I don't see anything on any other of the chats. I'm available for like 25-ish more minutes. So you guys ask questions now, or we're going to end the stream early. Why are you feeling bad? I make myself available usually every week for people to ask questions and learn. So if you're going to be here and you're going to ask questions and you want to learn, then good. Keep asking questions. But like I'd rather be answering questions than not. That's why I'll end the stream early if no one wants to ask questions, because I got more important things to go be doing. And it's becoming more and more rare for me to have free time to talk to you guys. So hey, this is super rare right now, because I feel like I'm not asking challenging. You don't need to ask challenging enough questions. You just need to ask questions. Because if you don't know, then you just ask. I mean, that's why I'm here, is to answer your questions. Like I'm helping run a nonprofit to teach people from zero to hero. So I understand if you know nothing. That's like expected. The people that ask more challenging questions, they're usually in different chats with me. Roughly on average, how long should it take me to be ready to sit for the exam? It depends on how much time you take. You could do it as little as 6 months, maybe less, maybe more. I would say the average person that actually sits down, and you're actually gonna torture yourself by going through those videos, or go through the items here, right? And what was I going to say? You actually go through them on a weekly basis, all right? On a weekly basis. It should be 6 to 12 months. 6 if you're really catching on and learning quick, attending these hour-long sessions that happen usually weekly, asking your questions. 12 months if you're being a little bit more like chill with it. But the thing is consistency. Every single week, you need to be learning, looking at, doing. All right. And again, the videos go through 1 through 100, but you can jump between them. They are set up in kind of this flow of categories. You can start on basic math and jump to operating systems. And then after operating systems, you can jump back to basic math if you want, because you're getting bored. The big thing is just get all of it. You don't have to logically go through it all. Now, it would help if you logically go through how we have it set up here: history, math, internals, networking, etc. Because some of these items, like if you're on operating systems and you're learning about, let's see here, boot process, Windows, like the firewall. Where's the firewall at? I thought I saw it. If we're learning about ping, tracer T, netstats, Unix commands in here, and networking commands, you may not understand what's going on because you didn't take time to do the networking protocols first. Now, it's not a bad thing necessarily, because the big thing is you got to be able to ask questions. So if you see something that comes up, you do the ping command and you see that it does something and you're like, okay, but like, what is that thing? So the ping command, for example, will return to you or resolve a domain name and tell you the IP address of something. Well, I just said a lot of things there. What is a domain name? What's an IP address? Why is it getting resolved? What is this good for? If you ask important and good questions, which is honestly a pro with Copilot here, because when you ask a question like, what is the ping command, not only will it answer it, but it will also, at the very end, it will bring up extra things like, how do I interpret it? Or these aren't really the best questions, but the thing is, we certify not just programmers, right? We don't care about most programmers. They're losers, they're idiots. I wouldn't ever want to hire them. They can go get hired by a company like Ubisoft, right? We look for and we certify the best people, right? And the best people know how to ask questions, right? So make sure you are practicing asking questions and going down rabbit holes. What about talking a little bit like Docker and what it's used for in industry? Yeah, we can talk about that. So I gave you that Docker task to look into. Now, Docker is super important because it's about containerization. Because running a full VM is extremely expensive and heavy to run. So when you run a container instead, it is lightweight and has the bare minimum needed. For example, if I want to run a web server, do I really need, like, let's say this is a Windows server that we're running it on. Do I really need Notepad installed? Do I really need Internet Explorer or Edge installed? Do I really need like drivers for NVIDIA installed, etc., etc.? You start asking these questions, right? And then you come to the conclusion, well, actually, I don't need like 80% of the operating system. So that's what a container does, is it's the bare minimum of an operating system being ran with your service inside of it, which has an added benefit because let's say I'm a hacker and I hack into your service. Well, now I don't have 80% of the tools available. First off, to exploit, which may make it harder to exploit. But second off, once I'm in the box, well, now it's a lot harder for me to potentially do things because it's just the bare minimum. For example, if we go over to Docker, the usual base image that's used a lot of the times for containers is the Alpine image. This is a Linux operating system image for your containers that is how big? How big in size? Yeah, that's right. 5 megabytes. 5 megabytes in size. All right, so super small, super lightweight. They've pretty much gotten rid of everything you don't need. Now on here, you can now just, let's say you have a Node JS application. All you have to do is install Node on it and run your app and its dependencies, and that's it. Also, they have Node.js applications or containers that are already set up by other people. You would probably want to build out your own. I don't really, none of these are official images. Should I just do Node? There was a Bitnami one I saw. Here we go. I thought Node had their own ones. Let's see here. Node has their own ones. So you can just use Node. Instead of having to install it yourself, you can use the Node ones, and you can see these ones are slightly bigger at 300. So you're getting a whole thing with everything you need with 300 megs. You can run it. So it's extremely useful on that point. And then your server costs are cut. So now when you want to use something like AWS, well, your AWS costs are going to be significantly cut because guess what? Now you're running it as a container, so you can utilize things like ECS, which is somewhere in here. Maybe it's in containers. There we go. ECS or EKS, you wouldn't really want to do EKS, that's a lot. But there's ECS, which is a way for you to run your containers in Amazon and not have to worry about it. Additionally, how do systems like Google never go down? So this is kind of the rabbit hole of thinking. Once you discover one technology, you should be asking why. Why does this exist? Why is this a thing? Let's see how this methodology of thinking would work to see if we can end up at this conclusion point here with Copilot. What is Docker? So this should tell you about containers, simplified shipping applications by using containers. All right, sweet. You can figure out some alternatives to Docker. Let's go here. So what is the point of containers? We can also ask, what's the difference between a container and a VM? But right here is kind of the important points that I glossed over, which I want you to really get into, is scalability, simplified management, all right, more reliability, efficiency, all of the key buzzwords. Well, how, right? So what is the point of containers? So that was our base question. How are containers more scalable? Lightweight, fast startup, orchestration tools. All right, now we're getting somewhere, all right? So the big thing is going down this rabbit hole, really reading in and trying to figure out, what is this thing? Orchestration tools. I've never heard of that before. Like, hey bro, I'm using Kali Linux. What's up, man? But this is the type of thinking you want to look down, because you hear orchestration tools. Don't breeze over that. If you don't understand it, ask questions. What is an orchestration tool? All right. Kubernetes, Docker Storm, OpenShift. Well, we're getting down that rabbit hole I talked about, because what is EKS? Elastic Kubernetes. What is Kubernetes? Well, it's an orchestration tool. Well, what is an orchestration tool? That's the key missing information we have here. So, reach my limit today. All right, we got to go to Bing or Edge. So you might want to use the Edge browser because they don't have or sign in, because Edge doesn't really have problems like this. Hold on one second. Let's go right here. All right. To no longer. Let's see. What is an orchestration tool? Since it's a new chat, let's give it some context, because it doesn't know the context. And I spelled that wrong, but it doesn't matter. It was an orchestration tool. I was looking into Docker and containers, and it came up. So now we can get answers about orchestration tools. Kubernetes is the popular one to orchestrate Docker containers. It automates tasks like deploying, scaling, managing, ensuring high availability and fault tolerance. All right, so basically we can continue going down this rabbit hole until we figure out the reason why services like Google always stay up. Why do they always stay up? Well, funny enough, you'll eventually figure out. Did one of these links have it? Well, who made Kubernetes? Kubernetes. Who made? Kubernetes was made by, Google. Interesting. In 2014. Interesting. So Google made Kubernetes. Well, Google is not really a nonprofit. They don't just do things for shits and giggles. They do it for a specific reason. They were doing this to run it internally. Well, why? Well, then you start learning into, they have servers, right? They want to save money. They're not a charity. They're here to make money. And they want to save money whenever possible. So now things start making more sense. Containers are lightweight VMs that can be ran. Kubernetes manages them. Well, that's great, because now we can have this manage our services and make sure our software, our websites are always up, always running. But what happens when we want to deploy a new version? Well, Kubernetes has the solution for that, and you'll figure out if you read through this. But basically what happens when you go to somewhere like Google or Bing or literally any website ever, something like Kubernetes or some type of other load balancer is what they're called, will handle version control. So let's go here, let's draw some pretty pictures. And let's say you have a super cool website and you're on version 1.0. Well, something like Kubernetes, right? It's K8 is what it's usually called, will manage this. But usually you don't want to just run one server, you want to run multiple servers. So let's run 2 versions of your 1.0 website. Here's the open web, right? Here's normal people. Normal person is on their little computer, right? Little cool arcade computer. They're going to go through the cloud here to your website. All right. When they go to your website, let's say it's, cool.com. It's going to go to your servers. Well, Kubernetes is going to see an internet is a connection is coming in, and it's going to say, okay, sweet. Let me look at both these servers I have. Well, they're both at 10% load, so I'm going to send it to this guy right here. And the more connections it sends here to this guy, the load will go up from 10% to maybe 50%. And this is a part of the load balancing it does. So when you get more traffic, it will just start sending it to the other guy. So that way it can go from 10 to 20 to 30%. So you're sharing the load. Again, super lightweight, so you're already saving costs, but now it's sharing the load. Well, what if someone wants to DDoS you? Well, if you're using something like Kubernetes, which most people do, you get some DDoS protection. What do I mean by that? Well, you can set it up so this orchestrator, right? Think of it as a composer, right? We'll see a lot of stuff is coming in. It will see your servers here are now at 80%. They're almost at max capacity. They can't do very much more than that. So Kubernetes will say, hey, you know what? We need more servers. So it will automatically, can I like get, it will automatically, why, can I have my black color, please? What is going on? Here we go. It will automatically spin up a new server, 1.0. And again, this is only really possible because you made containers. And it will easily spin up a new one instantly because they're fast, reliable, and secure, and it will start routing traffic, all right? Any questions on that before we get to the second part of it? Snow? All right, sweet. Let's go ahead and go to the second part of this, which is, okay, your cool website, you had 1.0 running before, middle of the night, or some type of time where there's not very much load on your website, or maybe you could do it in the middle of the day because Kubernetes is that great. You want to release the new cool version 1.1 of your website. You've been working on this hard for several months. Cool new features are released. Maybe this is your game. Maybe this is your game servers. Maybe this is your website. It doesn't matter because, again, what is a container? A container is your application. It could be your website. It could be your video game servers. It could be literally anything. It is code that is just running, and you need it to be available for people. So we have 1.1 we just released. Well, with something like an orchestrator, again, Kubernetes is the biggest one out there, so we're talking about it. But when I brought up something like ECS, where was it? This one right here, this is Amazon's competitor to it. So these are competing products. All right, Microsoft will have their own versions. There are plenty of other versions available out there. This is just the big name brand one, all right? And they all work the same, by the way. So I'm showing you this in regards to Kubernetes, but any orchestration tool will be exactly the same, right? For the most part. You release 1.0. Well, if you're Google, you can't have your website go down. You can never have your website go down because you're going to lose money and it's going to ruin your search rankings and a whole bunch of other things. People will not use your service if your website is down, right? So what will happen is it will smartly deploy 1.1 alongside your older versions that will continue running. And what will happen is it will slowly start routing 5% of all traffic that you get here. And then maybe up it to 15% of traffic. And then maybe 25, 35. It will start moving traffic since all of the internet traffic goes through this manager here. It will start slowly routing traffic, your internet traffic here. That's why some of you guys may have seen on YouTube, TikTok, Google, etc. You might have a more up-to-date version or new features than your buddy does. The reason is they are using a tool like this behind the scenes to slowly roll out to users new features. And what will happen is once they hit a certain threshold, let's say we hit 50% of traffic is coming here, well then they're going to axe this one, right? They're going to axe this one. And then when they axe it, the orchestrator might then spin up a new one that is 1.1. Because we always want at least 2 servers running, right? And this would be 2 servers of the new one. And then traffic will start coming onto this guy until maybe it gets 50%, and then we'll axe this. So at no point, let me put that in red. So at no point did your website, your video game servers, your whatever, ever go down. They never went down. They never went out of service. Your website was always available. It just slowly rolls out to new users. Now, How fast is this rollout? Well, it could be as quick as 10 minutes. It could be as slow as a week. It really depends on what you want to do. That makes sense. Can you automate it to give features or maybe users based off? Yes. So, Google, it's more that's a more complicated question on how you would go about it. Because number one, for paid features should be handled by your service itself. So this service right here should be handling, oh, is a user paid or not, and then displaying different content to them. Now, what Google does and what you can do, and it's possible with some orchestration tools, and it just depends on how you want to go about it. You could run like a beta version of 1.2, and then there's a lot of things you can do with Kubernetes, but you could make it so only users in the United States or in Canada or, or a more specific group get access to this. All right. And it still runs other ones. This is where you can do a lot of that crazy stuff that, is geo-locked. So yes, the simple answer is yes, you can do a lot of stuff with it. The other answer is no, you don't want to do this for anything you're thinking of in your head. That type of tooling is for experts who have specific needs. And right now, if you're starting your journey, you don't need those needs. I haven't even really needed to do anything like that. So don't worry about it. Are you a teacher? I am a teacher. I am the main teacher here at the nonprofit Rootkit. So if you guys want any future classes, make sure you ask in the Discord. What other questions do you guys have? Because we're about to run out of time here. Let's see, typing. So Snow, make sure you educate yourself on all of that. Go down the rabbit holes. It is, again, an item that is on the advanced here. On the advanced cert, and it's on the advanced cert for a reason. It's a super nice, important thing for you to know. But it's not super critical. Everything that Rootkit does is all containerized. So everything we've ever ran, all of our servers, all of our services, from Wonder to other items, are all containerized to keep costs low and availability high. And you'll find that is pretty much the case for most things. And you'll see these terms. Again, if you're looking at jobs, you're going to see these terms in these job postings, right, that you may want. So if you want to be, I don't know, making games at, what's a game company? Riot Games. Riot Games, jobs, server. Let's just do jobs. Let's see what's in here. Work with us. Craft. Where? This is not a great menu. Software engineering group. That's interesting. Do you teach Flutter? We can teach anything you would like. I am not a Flutter SME, but our other dev, Alex, is a Flutter SME, and he can teach Flutter. So if we go here, now it's not every job is going to be listed with things like Dockers. They're not usually going to say things like Docker either. What they're going to say is right here, they're going to say things like containers. Containerization. This also is anything when you see CI/CD systems developing is also an indicator that they probably want you to understand how systems like Kubernetes or containers work. How will you know that? Well, you won't really know until you're in the system. Combat engineers won't do it. Services, though, Services, you're definitely going to need to know things like containers, cloud computing technology, another key indicator that you would need to know things with containers, backend for large scale backend systems. Again, here we go. Experience with containerized technologies like Docker. There we go. So you're seeing Docker show up here, containers show up here. I would bet more you're going to see containers than the word Docker, only because there are competing technologies coming out. But it's one of the main things. Like, again, we're not making just devs, we're making good devs. Because if you go here, you might notice something, a repeating pattern. How many entry-level jobs do you see here? The answer is none. No one wants entry-level devs. Why? Because entry-level devs come out of college. And what do entry-level devs do? They suck. No one wants them. No one wants to hire them. They're useless. So that's why you need to get certified through us, because you won't be at an entry level like everyone else. I watched on Discord, but here is better. Yeah, the YouTube might be better because you can actually see my face and I can point at things. But there's no entry level because no one wants entry level. This is like level 3 here looks like the most entry level that they have. So if we click on this, and that's for TFT, you're going to see they want lots of experience programming. Great. You know what? Anyone can learn how to program. You're not special if you learn how to program, right? The big thing is, again, why on our comp sci cert, why does it have so many things that aren't programming related? Because maybe we know what the industry knows, because we are top industry professionals that run a lot of companies and run a lot of people that are hiring. A lot of these places you want to work at, a lot of our staff members are in pretty cool places, right? It's because you need to know this stuff, right? Because this is one bullet point. This is another bullet point. This is another bullet point, all right? Software patterns is another bullet point, all right? Large code bases is another bullet point, right? A lot of bullet points here. Again, proven understanding of what does this say? How many times have I ever said fundamentals? You need the fundamentals. You don't need a degree. You need to understand the fundamentals. And what does our cert give you? It gives you a proven and strong understanding of the fundamentals, all right? A software dev doesn't just know how to program. They need to know how to do the whole shebang, the whole package. Because when they're trying to hire, they're looking for someone that has the whole shebang. This years of experience doesn't really matter. People put it on here to discourage entry-level devs because they don't want garbage entry-level devs. They want someone, more importantly, that will have the whole package. Be very familiar with C++. Know how to use Unreal. Know how to use things like Git and GitHub, all right? Know how fundamentals work, right? Collaborating with people, right? Software design patterns, server and client architectures, which are all explained and talked about in 100 Days of Rootkit and in our course here. So very important for you guys to learn the fundamentals, learn 100 Days of Rootkit, even though it is kind of sucks. 4 months learning C#, 2 weeks learning C++. Yeah. Again, this is just a general point here. No one actually follows this. Take it from someone that posts lots of job listings, interviews lots of people, hires lots of people. This is just a general filter of me saying, okay, I want you to not really be entry level. You don't need to be mid-tier or senior or an expert. I don't want you to be entry level. That's what this is. Same thing with this. I don't want you to be entry level. So if you're playing around on your free time, at school, after school, if you're making products, you're publishing your own apps, even though they may suck, you're doing it. Guess what you're learning? You're learning the entire life cycle process, right? The whole entire software development life cycle process of making things, shipping products, dealing with your code base. Now, it might not be super large, but you're dealing with it. You're dealing with this whole experience. This is the experience people are looking for, right? This is the experience I'm looking for with people, right? And again, we're showing off Riot Games. stuff here. This goes for any one, Tesla, all right, SpaceX, etc. How many people finished 100 days of rootkit? A very small amount of people have finished 100 days of rootkit. Half of it is because it was live streamed and it's kind of dry to get through the whole thing, so we're going to be remaking it all. The other part is most people don't want to commit, which is fine. We're not looking for most people, we're looking for the best. So if you want to prove you're the best, then commit. You don't have to do 100 days of rootkit. You can, again, just go through the GitHub repo here and get certified. But it is a challenge, to say the least. I'll take one last question, but that's pretty much it. We've been chatting for an hour, you guys. So ask your last question. I'm going to wrap it up, and then I'll see you guys next week. If you guys want to request another class, again, if you want to request a class on anything, you can go ahead and ask it in the Discord, right? I'm wanting to commit. I'm 30 years old now and want to get a good career going. Great. You can start it at any age, 12 to 50. I've worked with developers that are close to 80 years old. Old motherfuckers, right? They can run circles around a lot of people, all right? Even though they're sitting there slowly typing. It's crazy. These guys, they're so good, they don't even hesitate. They're slow, but when they're moving forward, they do everything perfectly. They never make a mistake. But yeah, you can start at any point. It's on you. It's on you to stick with it, learn it, do it, right? No one else is going to help you. We're not going to try to push you, right? We're here to help you at every part of the way if you attend and progress, but I'm not going to sit here and be nagging you, all right? You need to get out of bed and you need to learn. That's on you. So either you fly or you die, and that's on you. All right, that's all I got for you guys. So I'll see you guys.